Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Kings. My name is Matt and it's a pleasure to be back with you guys on the channel today, and we're going to be talking about exactly what Shiba Inu has been up to, including my current thoughts on the trend that we are watching in the graph. So if you guys are new, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more daily Shiba Inu videos, and let's get right into it, folks. So if you guys haven't already seen what we are working with here on the day, essentially Shib is showing us right now at least that it looks, in my opinion, getting ready to exit the falling wedge. And you guys can see that essentially what we are seeing in the graph is pretty great stuff. So market cap here is basically break even here, still at around $22 billion. The volume here, however, is up over the past 24 hours at around $5 billion. So again, when we look at our historical data, of course, you guys can see yesterday was a great day for volume as well. So definitely nothing to complain about. Volume wise, we are staying up, and high volume doesn't always mean good in an instance like this, but you know, it is nice to see the relevancy staying, and that is always important, to stay relevant. Again, on our list, you know, we are still at number 12, ahead of crypto.com coin. I don't think we'll catch up to Avalanche anytime soon, but only time really will tell. So when we take a look, guys, at our graph and really try to pick everything apart, there is a lot to discuss. Before we do, make sure to check out Webull, guys. Top of the link down below in the description. Get started trading stocks and crypto, and right now, for a limited time, they're giving away some money in your favorite crypto. There are, like, I think 5 or 6 options on there, so you can pick whichever one you like best, and Webull will give you that amount in free crypto. So if you guys want to do that, you guys get started with the link at the top of the description down below. And again, this is only for a limited time with Webull. Thank you guys so much. So when we take a look at our graph here, you guys can see essentially we have this major falling wedge movement starting here from the 19th and extending downwards, and really this movement basically looks to be over, because you guys can see we get the instant, you know, sort of reversal headed up to around 43 here in a bull movement, and then the same thing heading all the way up to around 48, which is pretty great on the day, to be honest with you. Heading all the way up to 48, you know, is excellent, and you know, definitely does show that there was some volatility at play. You know, that volume, that little spike in volume was extremely big at that time, and you know, when we check our indicators, I'm sure the relative strength index would be exceeded right at the 48 mark. But what I think that showed is that we had these sort of elasticity to make these big, you know, broad jumps like this without running into a lot of issues. Because what I think I'm seeing start is a new ascending formation. And you guys can see, of course, I think that this movement could, you know, very realistically do something like this, the new, you know, ascending sort of triangle here. And obviously an ascending triangle like this would have some expected pullback, you know, and that would, of course, you know, send it downward again. And oh my goodness, it's going to zero, yada yada. But I very much think it is possible that a series of ascending movements, you know, could do something like this, you know, working our way back slowly and steadily into the 50s. So I definitely do think that that option is available to us. Now, when we check our indicators, and again, like I said, I'm sure that this is going to say that we are overextended, because this is just a huge stretch, you know, a very, very short burst up to around 48, which, you know, is definitely fine. Now, the question is, this falling wedge here, you know, this end of this falling wedge, will this be a permanent reversal? You know, will we be able to essentially watch this head up in an ascending fashion for the next, you know, good few days? Will that happen? And if that does, you know, that would be awesome. But the thing that sort of worries me is the scenario in which, again, we just keep working our way down, and then it's like, oh my goodness, you know, when does this falling wedge end? When does this falling wedge stop and we finally get some kind of reversal? So do we just keep heading down like this and, you know, hope for some kind of breakout? You know, that would be a bad scenario, a scenario I hope doesn't happen. But a realistic scenario that also may be possible is just an area of consolidation. We consolidate, you know, say between 44-ish and say, you know, 39-ish perhaps. Something like that I think is very realistic, you know, where we just kind of watch it hit the head and the bottom, the top, the bottom, the top, the bottom, and we just kind of watch it consolidate after being in that region. So, you know, again, I definitely do think that is possible. And, of course, it wouldn't be a great scenario, but this definitely could be possible. And if it was, again, when you consolidate like that, you do kind of gear up for a breakout of some sorts. So that possibility for a consolidation is definitely possible. Now, when we check the relative strength index, like I was talking about, guys, you guys can see we are really pushing towards the top. And I think that because this sort of came so suddenly, it didn't actually break fully out of the relative strength index. But again, it is very close to the top here at around 66. So definitely a little bit higher than, I suppose the relative strength index here really should be. The goal, of course, is to hang right around 50 in order to prevent, excess volatility. So right around now, we're sitting here at like 40, and the relative strength index is a little bit below the middle line. So we do have some headroom, to move up and to work our way up if we want to. We very well could go to, 41 or 42 on the current candle without running into a lot of problems, maybe 43, if we are lucky. So I definitely don't think that would be much of an issue. And I think the relative strength index would be able to handle that without being considered overextended. Now, when we check our Fibonacci retracement, which you guys know I love to do as well, and you guys are going to see, it's going to essentially outline the recent run. So we have the bottom here of around 38 and the top here of around 48. So a very clean, 10 difference here. And essentially what we are being given is, of course, we had this one moonshot on this candle all the way up to the top, and then we essentially bounced off at what looks like to be the 78.6% line here, only dipping for a little bit right now, and it's uncertain as to whether or not we will continue to dip, below this line or be able to stay on it, because this 78.6% line we definitely could stay on if we really wanted to. So I'm definitely unsure as to whether or not that is something we will, fall below and be forced to stick around 38, 39, or will we be able to continue to bounce off of it and stay, closer to 40, 41, 42. So that 78.6% line definitely could be a big player here. But, realistically, if we are to, try to work with these fib lines, we could very well, again, bounce off of a few and then just consolidate between two, So something like this, I think, is also a possible scenario, being able to consolidate between, say, the very top here, the 100% line, whatnot, or the zero, however you want to look at it, and say the 38.2% line, and just to bounce between those two. That is also another very possible circumstance that could happen here. So with that being said, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out Webull again, guys. Top of the link down below in the description. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Definitely let me know down below in the comments, guys. Where do you see Shib going? Do you guys see this, like I do, in the same way? Being at the end, exiting this falling wedge and continuing with this reversal. Definitely do let me know down below in the comments. I do love hearing all of your opinions, whether you agree with me or not. Definitely do let me know down below in the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Matt. See you guys on the next one. Peace.